if you want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
The assassination attempt on Donald Trump over the weekend has energized the Republicans and stunned the Democrats. It has also stopped the entire political conversation among Democrats on whether or not to replace their nominee, incumbent President Joe Biden. Democrats were caught in a quandary. Their favorite object of attack, Donald Trump, had now become a victim of political violence, a violence which the other side has accused them of fomenting with incendiary language. Democrats did something unusual over the weekend. They spent an entire weekend without attacking Donald Trump. Democrats were increasingly worried that attacking Trump now would come across as insensitive and unempathetic, and that doesn't fit with core left liberal values. On Crux Decode, what are the implications of the Trump assassination attempt on the Democratic ticket? Will it end speculation around Biden being replaced, or will it only further exacerbate those calls? Can any Democrat now hope to beat Trump in November, or has Trump's lead become unassailable? The Biden campaign has pulled out all its political attack ads targeting Trump. Going into the opposite party's convention, you would have expected heightened political attacks from the Democrats. But this time, the Democrats have been forced to quieten up. President Joe Biden even postponed a pit stop in Texas that was scheduled for Monday, during which he was supposed to mark the 60th anniversary of the signing of the Civil Rights Act. While all was quiet in public, behind the scenes, speculation continued to brew about how the shooting might impact the general election, and more importantly, whether it would actually stop or accelerate internal Democratic efforts to try and oust Biden. But here's the real worry for Democrats. The image of Donald Trump with a bloodied face, rising with his fist pumped in the air, would energize Republicans, and it would also give him a new way to appeal to voters who are outside of the Republican base. Every image from the attempted hit is iconic. It could not have been created on a Hollywood movie better than it played out in real life. Even as most Democrats are coming to terms with what could possibly be an unassailable lead for Trump against their candidate, this would also slow down momentum for a replacement of their own. All of the thirsty, self-absorbed, ambitious Democrats who may have wanted to oust Biden and fancy their own chances against Trump in a national election will now have to bide their time and keep their powder dry for 2028. The shooting is also putting the Biden campaign in a fix. Their plan relied heavily on denouncing Trump as a chaotic and a dangerous figure, almost like a neo-fascist, something that they might now find harder to do as Trump plays victim of hate politics. The fact that Trump is now a victim of political violence rather than the perpetrator of it undermines one of the core appeals of Joe Biden. At the other end of the spectrum, some Democrats wondered if a Trump bump would further fuel concerns about Biden's ability to navigate what could be an even more difficult political environment. Eventually, would that build pressure again on him to drop out? One Dem strategist added that the situation might actually boost interest beyond Kamala Harris, as it might give the party a way to more dramatically reset the race. It would give the party a chance to put behind what has occurred in the Biden-Trump years and make a fresh start. Democrats' only hope is to nominate a fresh face who can turn the page on this entire era between Biden and Trump, calling for lowering the temperature and positioning the Democrats as a party of the future, not a party of the past. The most immediate baseline scenario is going to be this: that Joe Biden will benefit from a rally around the flag effect. Democrats who are opposed to him will grow wary of confronting him during a national crisis, like Democrats did not want to confront George Bush when 9/11 happened. Losing several news cycles that would have otherwise featured prominent debates over Biden's standing could also help him in the race. It will simply dampen the spirits of those who are seeking to replace him. Democrats did not see party leaders jumping off the assassination news to squash discussions around Biden. or Biden's opponents rushing to reassert themselves in response to the assassination hit. Things simply remained too raw and too sensitive for the Democrats to be indulging in political attacks. Above all, the debate around Biden's age and mental acuity is on hold. In fact, more than a dozen Democratic sources who've spoken to various news agencies have openly said that such a sensitive topic, which no one wanted to touch, even initially, will now be even more taboo in the hours following the shooting. While the conversation around whether or not Biden should withdraw dominated the headlines for a good 2 to 3 weeks, seemingly an endless news cycle, the Democrats now, after the shooting attempt at Donald Trump, whether it's lawmakers or donors, have quickly fallen silent. Since the assassination attempt, Biden has sought to be the consoler-in-chief of America. He has even spoken with Trump, his longtime rival, on more than one occasion on Saturday night immediately after the attempted assassination hit, and then subsequently rest of the weekend as well. He even made a rare address to the nation from the Oval Office on Sunday, where he condemned in no uncertain terms the assassination hit on Trump. He called it sick and said that this kind of political violence had no place in America. He appeared presidential, and that is something that his campaign was hoping for, and that is something none of his party opponents, Democrats who are opposed to him from within the party, can muster right now. In fact, one strategist said that in the short term, while campaigning is sidelined, it is going to be beneficial to Biden to be seen as the one who's reassuring the American public while temporarily setting aside differences with Trump. It helps Biden's core argument. He's representing, in this instance, stability, managing a crisis, and in a way also he's answering the argument about his mental acuity. But the actual dramatic effect of this assassination attempt will be felt at the Republican National Convention. When Donald Trump arrives this week at the Republican National Convention in Wisconsin, his supporters will greet him as a larger-than-life martyr. Trump, in fact, himself said that he considers this a lucky escape as a gift from God. Donald Trump is going to appear in Milwaukee almost like Lazarus, the man that Jesus raised from the dead. No one in America is writing about Trump's political obituary anymore. He's more than likely going to be the President of the United States one more time, and thereby he gets a second lease of life and a shot at a second-term presidency.